Time for the papers now here in France 24. What a surprise. Still starting off with the French elections. Another couple of weeks to go, of course. Campaign for that final round of voting well underway, though, Dipti.
That's right. That final round of voting, Stuart, nothing is decided yet. That's what Le Parisien newspaper is saying on its front page. A warning, perhaps, more for Emmanuel Macron, the centrist candidate, rather than his rival, the far-right leader, Marine Le Pen. Le Parisien's editors say that Macron's manner of raising his arms during his speech on Sunday gave us the impression that he thinks he's already won. Perhaps it was all a little bit too premature. If the National Front Party got into the second round, it's a response from citizens to the elites that the citizens will not deal with or will not tolerate these elites who, quote, only care about their careers and interests. Macron needs to be wary, the paper says, of the, quote, anger that's been awakened in French voters after the first round of elections.
Of course, Macron has also sparked criticism for a dinner party that he had after his first round victory on Sunday as well.
I got to say, Stuart, all the French papers are kind of obsessed with this dinner party, from what he ate to who was invited to what happened during that
You're going to give
Sunday
us the menu,
night. I will actually in a second give you a rundown of what he ate, but that's not why it's controversial. Many have criticized Macron's dinner bash. It was held at La Rotonde, which is an upmarket Parisian brasserie. He was surrounded by French personalities, and many say that it brings back memories of Nicolas Sarkozy, who celebrated his 2007 win at Fouquet's, a restaurant on the Champs-Élysées, very swanky, and really showed that at least Sarkozy was out of touch with people. Macron has, of course, campaigned on the platform that he's anti-establishment, that he is supposedly in touch with people, and this is why he's being criticized. In any case, Le Monde reports that Macron's team were in, quote, damage control yesterday, sending out a press release saying, no, it wasn't a party and no, it wasn't the Fouquets, trying to distinguish themselves from the previous incident. Libération, the left-leaning paper, is much harsher. The paper criticized Macron's, quote, premature vainglory and accused the centrist candidate of underestimating the importance of this last battle with Le Pen. Les Echos, the French business paper, are a little bit kinder. They say it was probably a misstep, a false start, so to speak. And the website L'Obs has actually jumped to Macron's defense, saying it was perfectly natural to thank his supporters, even if they didn't include French celebrities. I quote, with a menu for 46 euros, including a leg of lamb with sage sauce, pate and chocolate profiteroles, the restaurant offered enough to satiate Macron and his team, noting that the restaurant is a popular haunt for the Socialist Party and even François Hollande.
Okay, sounds nice. Nice recipe. Marine Le Pen, meanwhile, she's wasted no time in throwing her first barbs at her adversary, hasn't she?
That's right. Les Echos, the French business paper, reports that Marine Le Pen visited the northern region in France yesterday, a region where she's garnered a lot of support on her anti-immigration, anti-Europe populist platform. Le Pen is fully playing all her trump cards right now by criticizing Macron's stance on Islamist terrorism and portraying him as a product of the establishment, drawing light to the fact that François Hollande, the French president, has publicly endorsed him. She also criticized what she called the, quote, old, rotten Republican front, those from the establishment parties that she says French voters so clearly rejected in Sunday's first round, and many of whom are now trying to rally behind Macron to run interference with her second round campaign. Libération, the front page, on its front page, says, we must keep fighting, ne rien lâcher, do not give up, in what's a warning also to Macron not to rest on his laurels. Between Macron, who already sees himself in the Élysée Palace, French MPs who are refusing to rally behind him, and the strength of Le Pen's second round, Libération says it's going to be a much tighter race to the Élysée this time, unlike in 2002 when Marine Le Pen's father got into the second round.
Yeah, it does seem, doesn't it, that some French MPs are really kind of struggling to rally behind Macron here.
That's right. They're really struggling because of their ideological differences, Stuart. Le Figaro says the two main parties in France have been left bewildered by the results of this first round, and they're sort of scrambling to figure out what to do. First of all, you have the parties on the left, the Socialist Party and the Conservative Party, that are reeling from the shocking defeats of their candidates, François Fillon and Benoît Hamon, For L'Opinion, the right-wing paper, I quote, it says, against the far-right party, abstaining is not an option. We must vote against Marine Le Pen if we don't want her to become president. So that's a really strong stance from the right-wing paper, which tends to be quite conservative. Now, on the left, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the communist candidate, has refused to endorse Macron. He says he wants to leave the choice to his supporters, but that decision has been lambasted by the Socialist Party. Libération wonders if his silence is coming from a place of anger. Is he just exercising his democratic right, or is he making a momentous mistake, one that could cost Macron dearly and help Marine Le Pen enormously? Mélenchon, after all, is very popular with the young voters, Stuart, and many of them say they're actually willing to abstain rather than vote for Macron. I quote from Libé, Mélenchon is playing with fire, but it remains to be seen who gets burnt the most.
That's certainly true. Okay, another 2 weeks to go. It's going to be fascinating. Thanks a lot, Dipti. Looking through the French newspapers, giving you a bit of a flavour about what they're talking about today.